Tansay everyone! Thanks for joining me today. We are going to make a cinnamon smelling ornament. Now, this ornament can be for your Christmas tree if you have one, but if you don't have a Christmas tree at home, that's okay. You can hang it just on the wall, just as something, maybe you'll hang it in your kitchen. It smells so lovely once it's dried because of the cinnamon in it. So, what you'll need for this activity is you're going to need a bowl, something big enough that will fit your cinnamon, your flour, and your salt. And also you're going to need a glass or a cup to hold about 2/3 of a cup of really warm water. Now it can just be from your tap, that's okay, but turn your hot water on and let it get warm, and then measure out 2/3 of a cup. Grown-ups, I know you'll probably have to do this step at home, but include your child. Talk about the different measurements, the different numbers, mark where they want to fill it to water, and get them to help in identifying when the cup is full. Okay, so what you're going to do, it's pretty simple. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your flour, you're going to use your pinching fingers to open the bag. Listen if you can hear it open. Open. And then you're going to pour your flour into your bowl, just like that. Okay. Next, you're going to take your salt. Now your salt might be in a little container like this, or it might be in a Ziploc bag. So whatever you have, if it's in a Ziploc bag, it will say salt, and that's how you know. Take your salt and sprinkle it inside, just like that. Next, it's time for the cinnamon. So you're gonna open your cinnamon. Ooh, it smells so good. And you're going to pour your cinnamon inside. All right, so I've got all my ingredients in the bowl, and now I'm going to just take a spoon and kind of stir it around. I want to kind of mix it up so that it's all mixed together. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I even spilled a little bit on the table, that's okay. And now it's time to add in our very warm water. So I'm just gonna check, make sure it's still warm, perfect. So I'm going to pour it in. Slowly. I'm gonna kind of pour it all around there, just like that. And now I'm going to mix it. Now I want to mix it so that all of my dough becomes wet and that I can kind of like Play-Doh. It's going to become a little bit like Play-Doh. So I'm mixing it. I want to make sure there's no more powder. Perfect. I'll keep mixing it. So once you've mixed your flour and your cinnamon and salt and water all together in the bowl, it's time to take it out and knead it with your hands. Now this part is a little bit sticky and it feels a little bit messy at first, but eventually the dough does kind of harden up and it doesn't stick to you as much. If you find that your hands, that the dough is just too sticky, you can take a little bit of flour and sprinkle it in your hands first, like that, so that the flour will help the dough from sticking too much to your hands, okay? So then it's time to scoop out your dough. Are you ready to get messy? All right, let's go. Ooh. There we go. And to knead it, you really just want to put it back and forth with your hands. Ooh. Now, after some kneading, you should find that your dough is becoming like formable, right? It's not sticking to you as much anymore. It's becoming more like dough. And I'm going to use my dough ball to scrape the inside of my bowl to get all the other little bits of dough that's left in there. Kind of like it sticks to it. It's perfect. And just keep kneading. If it sticks to your hands, that's okay. I know it feels really gross, but the more you knead it, the more it will keep its form. And you probably want to knead it for about, I'd say maybe 5 minutes. So you can set a timer on your phone and you can get other family members to help you. So take turns. Maybe mom or dad, you're going to start, especially for the really sticky part, just kind of get it going and then pass it to your child. They can take a turn, and any siblings at home can also take a turn. All right, so now that you've taken turns kneading your dough, you should have a nice dough ball that is not sticky anymore and that you can actually manipulate it and it doesn't fall apart or stick to you. So once you have that, you're going to roll your dough into a ball. Now, the easiest way to do that is put it in one of your hands and then slowly start rolling it around your hand. Okay, you don't want to be too hard and put too much pressure because then you'll just flatten it, but kind of just roll it around in your hand without letting it fall. The other way you can do too is on a table. If that's a little bit easier for you, you can do it with both hands, just like that. Okay, once it's pretty much in a good shape ball, now it's time to flatten it. Now, if you have a roller at home, this would be best. You could use a roller and roll it out. But if you don't have a rolling pin at home, you can use your hands. So you're going to push slowly. You don't want to push it too fast. And you don't want to push it too thin. I'm going to pick it up here and show you about, so kind of like that. You can see it's pretty thick. If you make it too thin, when your ornament dries, it's more likely to get broken. You can crack. So I'm going to go like that. So just a nice thickness. Now, you can take the little plastic knife that came in your kit, or if you have them at home, you can use a cookie cutter to make your ornament. So if you have your cookie cutter, you just simply push your cookie cutter into your ornament like that, and then you peel away the outside. You have lots of dough left, so you can make many. Maybe everyone in your family can make one. And you can use the knife to help get the edges away, just like that. Just kind of clean it up with your knife a little bit. Okay. And all that extra dough, I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to keep making ornaments, or your family can keep making ornaments until all the dough is used. Now, with the ornament in the cookie cutter, you want to carefully lift your cookie cutter up off your ornament, just like that. And then you want to carefully lift it up off the table. Just like that. There. Now I have my ornament, but my ornament needs to dry. So I'm going to put it in a safe spot, somewhere where it's not going to get cold, maybe, you know, on your counter or on a windowsill, somewhere that it's going to stay fairly warm. And it takes about 2 days to dry. So you can mark an X on your calendar at home or set a reminder in your phone. And in 2 days, it will be all dry. Now, if you do want to hang your ornament once it's dry, you're going to need to put a hole in your ornament now before it dries. So I do want to hang my ornament on my tree at home. So I'm going to take just a pen. You can take a pencil if you have that at home, but just something small. So I'm just going to use this pen here. You can see it's got a little tip, and I'm going to put the hole in my ornament so that I can thread a string through it once it's dry. Now I think I'm going to put my thread right through there. It'd be kind of like a little necklace for him. There. So there's my ornament with the hole, and now I'm going to set it aside to dry. If you don't have a cookie cutter at home and you'd like to freestyle your ornament with this little knife, simply take the knife and carve in the design that you'd like your ornament to be. Something simple is probably best, but if you feel like doing something more complex, go for it. So I just carved a simple circle with my knife. That's going to be my second ornament that I'm going to do. Now I do want to hang this on my Christmas tree when it dries, so I'm going to put a little hole in it first so that when it's dry I can put my string through. There, just like that. Now I'm going to set these two ornaments aside to dry, and check out our second video to see what you do once your ornament's dry. Remember, it takes about 2 days. Examaga!